Question 1312. Some Native Americans use Thanksgiving as a day of mourning. Do you think we should do away with Thanksgiving due in part to the current social climate?
Yes, but I've also thought that for decades, so it doesn't.
No,
Yes, but in
not.
today's climate, it would piss off a lot of people.
It would, yeah.
Is that good or
It
bad?
goes right back to the statues. It goes right back
that.
to the statues.
Yeah.
We're getting mad at people that are way dead.
What these statues that are modern?
Thanksgiving has no true reason, orientation, attachment to specific dogma. I think we should redesign it and make it ours and make it what we want it to be. I think Thanksgiving is an important festivity in every culture. I think every culture needs to stand back at least one day a year and give thanks for life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, good food, good friends.
The rest of the world don't share those values.
That's actually a that's a fantastic point, because Thanksgiving is other than the 4th of July, and for some people Halloween, but not for everyone for various reasons. Those are our only secular holidays here. So yeah, that actually is a good point.
Badger says, no, people should be aware of the history of their holidays. They should. I think your country America has screwed that. Yandiri says it gets overrun by Christmas anyway, so yes. You could just move it somewhere else.
God,
you can't move Thanksgiving though. We've had it on the same day for how long?
It's always on the Thursday of the week of some point. Yeah.
You're aware your country's like a couple of weeks old.
I know.
It's like don't make me sing the song. It's like 300 years old. I think three and change. I don't know.
I mean, ours is like over 1,000 years old.
Centennial in the 70s.
I know.
And Dave, you can call us young all you want, but a bunch of fucking dirty rebels kicked the ass of the greatest empire on the planet at the time. Who has now become?
I think you're missing the point. What happened was we decided to cut off some annoying colonists. And
I won't sing
their own way.
Because I've been hanging out with Stuart, so I won't
the
sing.
war.
You fought a war to not cut us off.
Fake news! Fake news!
But you guys tried twice. And in 1814, we, there was that second skirmish in 1814.
You mean that one where we burned the White House?
Well, we took a little trip with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi.
Oh gosh, that guy.
The irony of that is that battle didn't need to happen because the fucking war was over. Actually, the peace agreement had been signed before that fucking battle.
It's a great Johnny Horton song.
The British just deserved an extra kick in the ass.
See, I don't argue. We're mad about something that happened 200 years ago.
That's a classic example. It's a classic example of sort of a bit like the United States in Vietnam, where they won all the engagements but lost the majority of the engagements but lost the war. It's kind of what happened with the British and in 1812 and the Independence War.
And guerrilla warfare played a part in both of those.
The majority of the engagements, technically the British won, but you can win every battle and still lose the war.
Yeah.
So are we fighting it again right here?
Silly.
That's right. You honor the Queen and we laugh at her.
We honor her?
Hey, Dave, you didn't get put in the tower after what you said the other day.
Jenny, you do know my feelings on the fucking monarchy, don't you? It's like I think the French had.
I know your feelings on the monarchy.
The French had the right idea.
But you didn't get chucked in the tower after talking about the Queen's muff, so you're all right.
I wasn't on that. I wasn't on that.
I heard Prince Philip are on a week-long getaway right now, trying to rekindle their early days. Does that mean they're porking each other right now?
They have the best health insurance on earth, so probably.
I was about to say that sounds very sweet, but then it got weird.
You know, it's sweet if you're old. It's weird when they are old.
I think it was the porking each other phrase that got me, but that's fine.
You have no idea what aristocracy gets up to.
They're werewolves, aren't they? Doctor Who told me they were werewolves.
Let's just say some interesting things with pigs' heads that happened a few years ago.
I'm just trying to visualize Queen Elizabeth squealing with delight.
Oh, see, that's what I was totally avoiding trying to think of.
There.
Say what you will, though. The way the disdain, just the calm disdain that she showed toward Trump when he went over there and met her. She has a piece of my heart for that.
I don't. I'm not Catholic, but the Pope did the same thing.
Oh yeah, the Pope. Yeah, he did. He
just was so straight faced. Like, why do I have to be near this?
It was. Junk Shop said that is so the just take the fucking picture face right there. Like, just take it.
Isaac Wicker says, start a new tradition where one stranger is allowed to raid your home with as much food as they can carry. I feel that might get abused. Never Again says, has everyone forgotten the harvest celebration it actually started out as? See, that's the odd thing. We do have Harvest Festival here. Although it's not usually a big thing
it's not this. It's more of a church thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the second fucking question we're on.
No, fourth. We're steaming through today.
Paying attention.
You should get Stool on here, then you see how far you'll get, any questions you'll get through.
Yeah. James says, turn Thanksgiving into Yom Kippur. Jess says,
Day of Atonement. That would be appropriate.
Jess says, I think we need a Thanksgiving, but this particular one. Say again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to check myself. I have to make sure that I cited the right holiday. Now I'm freaking out thinking I said the wrong one.
I think we need Thanksgiving, but this particular one needs to be explained properly first, and yes, mourning should be involved.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement, and it is a high holiday in the Jewish faith.
Badger said, back to our previous conversation, you threw the tea in the harbour, so you can all go fuck yourselves.
I need coffee. That reminds me.
Kitty says, I see nothing offensive about Thanksgiving, unlike Columbus Day, where the nasty jerk is celebrated and revered.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Columbus Day needs to fucking go.
Thanksgiving is a lie, though, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it is.
You don't tell the truth to our children about the things that were done to Native Americans. Instead, there's this fucking story about us all getting along and eating together, and it's total garbage. And it's by this time, most people know the truth about it, but the people on the right have a tendency to want to hold on to shit like this. The same with Columbus Day.
Well,
that's why I made that comment, because all the weirdos would freak out the second you try to change their weird because they align themselves with these dumb holidays and they believe the lies. I'm all for change. Like, if you can change and be your better self, hey, I'll be right there with you. So I'm all for changing the holiday.
Well, there was an initial celebration at Jamestown, but it was one thing, and then the Native Americans got so frustrated with the settlers' bullshit because they didn't bring any farmers. It was too late to plant. They were like basically just glommed on to the tribes and were like, hey, can you feed us? Because we can't feed ourselves because we suck. And we didn't really prepare for this journey. We have like a barber, but no farmer. and literally, and one smith. They had one blacksmith, and that's it. It was so dumb. And eventually the colony failed. It just failed, and so many people died.
Well, you know what the best thing was about Jamestown?
What?
They all died.
Yeah. Oh, and also the Native Americans were like, that's a really dumb place to settle because it's swampy and there's like disease because of mosquitoes. But I don't know if they knew it was because of mosquitoes. But yeah, that place, we don't live there. Yeah, we don't live there for a reason. And It's just God. It's so dumb. Anyway,
Ox
I'm
says,
finished.
to the natives, Thanksgiving is a reminder of the invasion of the whites into this country. It is a reminder to this day of the over 10 million native lives taken by the white man over the last 200 plus years.
Enslaved, massacred, mutilated,
Raped.
everything.
Sorry for the R word.
What we did to the
And a few broken treaties to throw into the mix as well.
what we did to the
Yeah,
first
a few.
citizens here is should be it's the worst possible thing any body of people can do to another. We came and we just stole their land. We killed their people. We lied to them with treaties after treaty after treaty after treaty. There isn't one treaty that the United States has held truthful to. Not one.
And to this day, Native American women are being murdered at a higher rate than any other demographic.
And it doesn't even get investigated.
And it's not even. It's never in the news. It's not your missing white blonde chick of the week. You know, it's the.
The problem is also there's hardcore laws like on a reservation. You can't necessarily walk on there with American jurisdiction. You know, they have their own say. So
they have sovereignty.
So
one thing.
It's just bad all around. It's bad.
There are a few tribes that are currently fighting to gain back some of their sovereign land from the federal government, and it's being ignored, especially because of who we have in the White House and whatnot, because he's not just ignoring it, but they're also encroaching on it in order to land that belongs to them now in order to look for oil and whatnot. So
which is nothing but problems in the first place.
Nope.
Yeah.
It was profitable. 150 years ago it was gold, today it's oil.
Yep.
And water.
Ricardo says, end it under the penalty of firing squad. What, for the holiday or for the throwing the tea in the hole? Never Again says, oh no, I missed that.
I think if they changed it as a day of thanks to Native Americans and made it about respecting, what they've lost and what we've taken and who they are, instead of making it, because it's even now it's more about the pilgrims than it is about the Native Americans. It's just
half of your country they would not accept that.
I could see that.
They don't seem to want to.
I know
half of your
won't.
Country doesn't want to acknowledge that people that are not pure white have value.
I know.
I've heard arguments from people on the right that have said that every conquest of land in the world has been done brutally, but that doesn't make it right, especially now.
It also doesn't. It also makes it current. I mean, there are other things. I've read lots about South America and lots that the Spanish are responsible for.
It's called creating race. The Spanish created what we consider, from South America all the way up to Mexico. Yeah. They wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the they basically killed all the men and, took all the women. So they eradicated
that's exactly
countless tribes.
And they also burned codexes, and so people lost their religious texts and their languages. And I know none of us here are big on religion, but at the time they did that to forcibly convert them all to Christianity.
Yeah.
So that's never a good time.
Well,
Thanksgiving is such a downer.
It's such a shitty holiday.
Well,
we were such hypocrites.
2 years ago, I was in Cuzco in Peru for the Sun Festival, and it was kind of like one of those few little things that they've got of their culture left in a way,
Has anyone not actually answered the question?
Yeah, me.
Hours ago.
Say again?
We all did, like hours ago.
No,
Jeff
we didn't.
It kind of discussed it all over, so I'm not actually sure if anyone feels they haven't answered. Jeff, go on then.
My honest answer is I don't feel I could tell Americans whether they should or shouldn't celebrate this. I think there's a lot fucking wrong with Thanksgiving. I think you should. I think maybe you should get rid of it and replace it with Wanksgiving Day.
Agreed.
You know, I think that could be a good alternative. But no, honestly, I don't know that I really could tell the Americans what to do. But as I said, this Thanksgiving's a weird thing because there's similar celebrations to it around the world. It's not an exclusively American thing. But yeah, I get the problems with the right wanting to claim things of their own. I mean, I think the closest thing what we got here is that we've got a whole bunch of right wingers in this country that want to make St. George's Day a national holiday, which it's not at the moment. And it's like, there's this like, yeah, England and St. George. I'm like, you do realise that St. George never fucking set foot in England. He was from like Turkey, Palestine. Oh, and he's also the patron saint of people with herpes. Just so you know. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah. So.
I'm gonna Google the hell out of that.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Next question then.
Ancient saint of her.
I thought Saint Disma was bad. Never mind. Go ahead.
I didn't know, man. Where are my notes? I should be writing stuff down.
Badger screams for Britain King and Great George Great.
I knew.
You watch him playing his game, he runs around stabbing things with a flag. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.